Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever thought about what those first 10 minutes after you wake up really mean for your health? It's not just the start of a new day for folks in their mid 70s to mid 80s. That short window can actually be a critical time. A lot of serious strokes happen right here in those first few minutes after waking up. But please don't let that scare you. The truth is, if you're waking up and your body doesn't show the 5 warning signs we're about to go over, I genuinely want to congratulate you. It's a strong indication that your brain and blood vessels are healthier and younger than about 90% of people your age. So, what exactly are these 5 often missed warning signs? Why are they such a good reflection of what's going on inside your brain? And if you do happen to notice one of them, what can you do to turn things around? Today, I'm going to walk you through all of this clearly, and I'll also share a simple, practical set of brain protecting habits that are easy to learn, highly effective, and something you can start as early as tomorrow morning. Stick with these, and you can help keep your mind sharp and agile all the way into your 90s. Let's start by talking about why I'm specifically focusing on the age range of 75 to 85. In the past, people used to say 70 is rare, but now with better living standards and healthcare, turning 70 is really just entering what I like to call the golden period of your senior life. However, after age 75, our bodies do go through a significant change, a real shift in how they function. At this stage, your blood vessels are like the plumbing in a house that's been around for decades. They've accumulated some buildup over the years, what we call plaque, and their natural flexibility has decreased. That's vascular stiffness, or what doctors call arteriosclerosis. And your brain, it's the body's command center, and it's also the organ most sensitive to its blood supply. After a full night's sleep, your body has been in a relatively still state. Your blood flow is slower and your blood is thicker. Then your alarm clock goes off, or sunlight comes through the window, and it's time to get up. At that moment, your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight system, suddenly becomes active like a cold engine starting up. Your blood pressure rises. Your heart rate increases. This puts real demand on the blood vessels in your brain. If your body can handle that transition smoothly without any discomfort, it tells you that your cardiovascular system is in excellent shape. So with that in mind, let's go through the 5 morning warning signs to watch for. Number one, dizziness when you get up. Some people sit up in the morning and feel like the ceiling is spinning or like the floor is moving. They might even feel nauseous. Now, if you just didn't sleep well the night before or you're fighting off a cold, that temporary dizziness is one thing. But if you frequently get this spinning sensation, what doctors call vertigo, when you go from lying down to sitting up, that's something to pay close attention to for our friends over 75. If you wake up with a clear head, your vision is steady, and you can sit up feeling stable, no sensation of walking on cotton balls or feeling like you're on a boat, that's excellent. It tells you that your brain is getting the blood and oxygen it needs. Think about it this way. When you sit up, gravity naturally pulls blood downward towards your legs. If your brain's blood vessels can't adjust quickly enough, your brain experiences a momentary drop in blood flow. And that's what makes you dizzy if you don't feel dizzy. It means your blood vessels have good elasticity and can keep blood flowing to your brain efficiently even when gravity is working against them. It's like having steady water pressure in your house. Turn on the faucet and water flows strong right away. No sputtering. Here's a simple safety tip that can make a huge difference. Regardless of whether you get dizzy once you're at this stage of life, never ever jump out of bed. When you hear your alarm or you wake up, don't spring up like a jack in the box. Give yourself some time, spend 3 to 5 minutes just waking up in bed. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, let your body know, hey, we're getting ready. Then roll onto your side, push yourself up slowly with your arms, sit on the edge of the bed for another minute, and then stand up. That simple practice, just a few minutes, can be the difference between staying healthy and having a stroke. Number two, your vision goes dark when you start walking. A lot of people overlook this one and assume it's just anemia, but that's not always the case. There's a medical term for this, amaurosis fugax, or transient vision loss. It means you get out of bed, take a few steps, and suddenly it's like someone pulled a curtain over your eyes. Everything goes dark for a few seconds, and then it clears up. If you've been squatting for a while and stand up quickly, that momentary blackout might be from a quick drop in blood pressure, orthostatic hypotension, and even younger people can experience that. But for someone over 75, if this happens regularly when you get up and start walking, it can be a sign of a narrowing in your carotid artery, the main artery supplying blood to your brain, or in the arteries inside your brain. Here's why the artery that supplies your eye is the first branch off your internal carotid artery. If a major vessel in your brain is narrowed or partially blocked, the very first place that gets starved of blood is often your eyes. Your eyes act like the sensor for your brain. If the sensor loses power, the screen goes dark. So if you get up in the morning, walk to the bathroom to wash up, walk to the kitchen to get some water, and your vision stays steady the whole time, no flickering, no darkening, then congratulations. That tells us your carotid arteries are clear and the circulation in the back of your brain is strong. It's one of the reasons people often say that an older person with good eyes usually has a sharp mind. They share the same blood supply. If you don't have this blackout symptom, it means the hardening in your brain's arteries is relatively mild, and that's genuinely something to feel good about. Number 3, numbness or weakness in your hands or feet. We've all had that experience where we slept in a weird position and woke up with a dead arm. It's numb and tingly. You shake it out for a few seconds and it's back to normal. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is waking up and noticing that without any pressure on them, your fingers on one side feel wooden, almost like they're not fully yours. Or the bottom of your foot feels like you're walking on sand. Maybe you're brushing your teeth and you can't hold the toothbrush firmly, or you're buttoning your shirt and your fingers just won't cooperate. Your brain is the body's command center. Every single movement you make starts as an electrical signal from your brain. If the part of your brain that controls movement or sensation isn't getting enough blood, those signals can't get through. In medical statistics, many stroke patients experience repeated episodes of morning numbness in the days leading up to a major stroke. These are warning shots, your body's way of sounding the alarm before something bigger happens. So if you wake up, make a fist and feel strong, stretch your legs and feel light, walk with a steady stride, what does that tell us? It tells us that your neural pathways are like a clear, open highway. Your brain's control over your body is working at full strength. Here's a quick check you can do if you're concerned about a spouse, a parent, or even yourself. Try this tomorrow morning. Have them hold both arms straight out in front of them, palms up, close their eyes, and count to 10. If both arms stay steady and don't drift downward, that's one of the best peace of mind checks you can do. Number 4, morning headaches. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of headache you get with a cold or the flu. I'm talking about a dull, heavy, pressurized feeling or a throbbing, pulsating pain, like there's a pulse beating inside your head. Some people might think, oh, I'm just getting older. Headaches are normal. Please don't brush this off. Morning headaches are often a direct reflection of your blood pressure. Remember how we talked about morning being a peak time for blood pressure. If your blood pressure isn't well controlled, that morning surge increases the pressure inside your skull. That pressure pulls on the blood vessels and the lining around your brain, and that causes pain. It's like a pressure cooker where the pressure is just a little too high, the lid starts to rattle. There's another possibility too. It could be a spasm in your brain's blood vessels, or it could be that your blood is so thick that it's causing blockages in the tiny vessels of your brain, leading to a dull, persistent ache. So if you wake up with a clear head, no pressure, no dull ache, no throbbing, that tells us more than just that you had a good night's sleep. It tells us your blood pressure is well controlled, your brain pressure is stable, and your blood vessels aren't showing signs of significant inflammation. That's one of the strongest signs that your brain is in its comfort zone. People who achieve this generally have a much lower risk of stroke and heart attack than the average person. Number 5, a crooked mouth, a numb tongue, or slurred speech. I strongly encourage my patients over 75 to make this a daily habit. When you're brushing your teeth in the morning, take a good look at yourself in the mirror, smile wide, really show your teeth, stick out your tongue. What are you looking for? Look at your smile lines. What we call nasolabial folds. Are they symmetrical on both sides? When you stick out your tongue, is it centered or does it point to one side? Then try saying a phrase out loud, something like, "The weather is beautiful today," or just have a short conversation with your spouse or a family member. Listen to your own voice. Does it sound clear or does it sound like you're speaking with a mouthful of marbles? These small, subtle changes can be signs of a transient ischemic attack, a TIA, or what people often call a mini stroke. A TIA might only last a few minutes, but it is often a critical warning sign that a larger, more serious stroke could be coming. So if you look in the mirror and see a bright, symmetrical smile and your speech comes out clear and strong, that tells us that your brainstem is functioning well, your facial nerves are working properly, and your language centers are getting the blood flow they need. That is a very high standard of health. So let's check in. How did you do with these 5? If you don't have any of these 5 warning signs, you are truly a health champion among your peers. If you noticed 1 or 2, please don't panic. It's simply your body's way of saying, let's pay closer attention and make some adjustments. Now, for those in that 75 to 85 age group, beyond seeing your doctor and taking your medications as prescribed, what can you do in your everyday life, especially in those crucial morning hours, to protect your brain? I'm going to share 3 practical brain protecting habits. They're simple, they're easy, and you can start them tomorrow morning. Tip 1, morning hydration. A lot of older adults limit how much they drink at night because they're worried about multiple trips to the bathroom. That's completely understandable, but the trade-off is that you wake up dehydrated, your blood is thicker, almost like syrup instead of water. Here's what I recommend after you brush your teeth and you've moved around a little. Make the first thing you do drinking a cup of warm water, about 8 ounces, 200 milliliters. Make sure it's warm, not cold. And please skip the salt water or anything fancy, just plain warm water. Why this cup of water does a few things at once. It helps thin your blood. It gently wakes up your digestive system. And it signals your brain that the day has started. Think of it like pouring water into a dried up riverbed. It gets things flowing again. Tip 2, be smart about your breakfast. One of the most common breakfasts I see is white rice porridge with some pickled vegetables and maybe a plain bun. I completely understand the comfort and familiarity, but honestly, that combination is not doing your brain any favors. It's mostly simple carbohydrates which cause your blood sugar to spike quickly and then crash, leaving your brain feeling foggy and sluggish. After 75, your brain needs something different. It needs high quality protein and a nutrient called lecithin, which is important for brain cell membranes. So here's a simple swap. Try replacing those pickled vegetables with a hard-boiled egg. Replace the white rice porridge with a glass of milk or a plant-based milk, and add a small handful of nuts. Walnuts are a great choice. Protein and healthy fats are the premium fuel your brain actually wants. Tip 3, cultivate a positive mood. This might sound like a soft recommendation, but it's backed by solid research. Studies have shown that long-term stress, anxiety, and chronic anger can actually damage the hippocampus, the part of your brain that's essential for memory and learning. Over time. That damage increases your risk for dementia. So when you wake up in the morning, try not to jump immediately into worrying about the day's problems. Open a window, take a few deep breaths, look at the trees outside, listen to the birds, give yourself a moment to start the day with a sense of calm and gratitude. When your emotions are steady, your blood pressure is steady, and when your blood pressure is steady, your brain is safer. It's that simple. Let me give you a quick summary of the 4 core points we covered today. These are the things I really want you to remember. First, we focus on the 75 to 85 age range because that's when our blood vessels naturally accumulate more buildup and lose elasticity. Morning is a real test for your system, and if your body handles that transition smoothly, it tells you your cardiovascular health is in great shape. Second, watch for those 5 morning warning signs. Dizziness when you get up. especially the spinning kind, can signal your brain isn't getting enough blood. Vision going dark when you start walking can be a sign of narrowing in your carotid artery. Unexplained numbness or weakness in your hands or feet without any pressure on them can be a warning of a potential stroke. Morning headaches, especially dull or throbbing, often point to blood pressure that's not well controlled. Any crooked smile, tongue that points to one side, or slurred speech could be a mini stroke and should never be ignored. If you have none of these, give yourself a genuine round of applause. It means your body is in excellent shape. Third, practice these 3 morning brain health habits. Hydrate with a cup of warm water right after you brush your teeth. Choose a breakfast that gives your brain quality protein and healthy fats, not just simple carbs. Start your day with a calm, positive mindset to keep your blood pressure and your brain steady. Fourth, and most important, never ever jump out of bed. Give your blood vessels a few minutes to adjust. When you wake up, stay in bed for 3 to 5 minutes, wiggle your fingers and toes, then sit up and wait another minute before you stand. Remember this, move a little slower and you can stay healthier a lot longer. Your health isn't something you wait for, it's something you build 1 morning at a time. Start tomorrow with these habits and give your brain the care it deserves. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone who could use this information, share it with them. I wish all of you a sharp mind, steady steps, and a long, healthy life. This is for educational purposes only. Always consult your own doctor before making changes. If you're dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice. I'll see you in the next video.